Hey guys, and welcome to EdBhoomi's YouTube channel, Ground for Education. The subject of today's video is for anyone looking to indulge in research of any sort or shape, be it an article, dissertation, or complete meta-analysis. To understand how a good research is designed and written, we first need to understand the process of reviewing and critically appraising research articles. This video will thoroughly explain the entire process step by step so we can design an efficient and high quality research at every step of the process. Looking at the entire research review process, there are 5 points or 5 steps to the process, starting with significance of the study, moving on to the novelty or originality of your study, then the verification and the replicability of your study, and your study must have a justifiable research methodology, and the final design and presentation of the research endeavor that you are participating in. So starting with this first step of the process, which is number one, significance of the research. Does your domain of interest or research objective addresses a relevant and important problem? There is no sense of spending your time and effort on solving a problem that is not really relevant or changes the landscape of literature. For example, designing a research on Zika vaccine when the world suffered with a COVID pandemic doesn't make the cut. Have you identified the target audience for your research? You must understand the audience demographic to design an effective research that makes immense impact. Is there any scope of the beneficence for fellow researchers? Does your research give platform to sister researchers and act as a base for future improvements? If the research question can give birth to various other scopes and research questions, your chosen objective is very good. Now, where do you find these answers? You find them in the introduction, related work and literature, plus the discussion sections. Moving on, novelty or originality. It is essential that the research questions you choose to study is novel and no literature exists with the same questions and objectives. Is your research any different than the high quality papers in the industry that have already been published? Is your research gap well defined, relevant, and clearly justified? We often tend to create gaps of convenience to justify our research questions. So, to evaluate if the gap is a truly existing one, we must have a bias free review of the literature. Is the originality of your work well aligned with the gap that you just discovered? These answers are also found in the introduction, related work, and discussion chapters. Next point is high quality, sound, and a justifiable research methodology. Research methodology is the structure that your research is based upon. It is one of the quintessential features of your research endeavor. Is your choice of methodology justified to your research question? There is absolutely no point doing a quasi experimental study for a question that needs a qualitative methodology. Are there weaknesses or loopholes that can lead to your study being exposed to errors and biases? For example, is your study blinded? Is the sampling method, data collection measures, and the outcome measures of your study justified and relevant? The answers to these are found in the research methodology section. Moving on with the verifiability of your research. How verifiable is your research by other researchers? Is sufficient information provided for other researchers to verify the claimed contributions? Have you provided enough data to make your experimental setup replicable to test for your claimed contributions? Is enough information provided so that the other researchers can also replicate the reported findings? Is your research replicable by others in various other setups, proving the scientific efficacy of your research? All of these answers can also be found in the research methodology section as well. Proving verifiability and replicability shows that the results that your research produces can be repeated in other settings as well, further proving the scientific efficacy of your research. Moving to the final step, final research process, it is called as presentation and design. Is your paper presented the right way? Is the flow, writing of the paper streamlined, the thought process justified, easy to understand, logical, and well structured? Does your research contain the necessary visualizations, tables, and schematics to display your findings and results? Is your paper free from plagiarism, typos, and any grammatical errors? And is the length of your paragraphs and the paragraph breaks justified and the word limit is relevant and justified? And this is how we critically appraise the fundamentals of an article. If we understand the rules and makeup of a great research, we can easily emulate these changes and design a great high quality research. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more. and turn on the notification bell for more. Yes. Keep looking forward because the next video will be on the peer review process where we'll be explaining what is the peer review process and how the research articles go through this process.